And hello, how you guys doing? In reference to this situation, there's been all kinds of rumors, I guess, in reference to different politicians that's tried to murder me, and the court cases that my mother and father had against the CIA and the FBI, and the courts did not protect my mother and father, and the courts did not protect me from the attacks of these people attacking me. I've not received a fucking penny from the Supreme Court, and there is laws that are on record at the Supreme Court in reference to people that violated my father and people that, they violated my father's rights and my mother's rights. And these people are still holding on to multi-trillion-dollar life insurance policies that I was supposed to have received, which, of course, my value, it goes up with those life insurance policies, too. And that satellite man just tried to tuck in the mouth. They're like, ugh, ugh. Hey, and you know that guy, Russell? He's a comedian. And, in reference to Italians, he made like an Italian joke about Indians or European race, or not about Middle Easterners telling Italians to shut up and eat. He said, in the race, this means to eat. You shut up and eat. And, look at Russell, whatever his name is. He's a Middle Eastern man that he did a comedy act on Italians and their Middle Eastern buffets or something. And that satellite man's been burning my teeth all these years too. But, in reference to the facts of history and the facts of information of which politicians was involved in the murder of my mother, which politicians have tried to injure me. Now, the flight records and the Supreme Court records of any politician that had flown over here to Indianapolis to attack me, or when they had kidnapped me from California. Now, I know Bush was out in California, and some people tried to murder me when Bush was out there in California. And when Bill Clinton was in office, people tried to murder me. Now, when my mother died in '93, they claimed that Bill Clinton tried to call me, and they have the phone call recorded or something, saying he was apologizing, or he was saying he was sorry that my mother had got murdered, or that my mother had died. I don't know. You have to check the records, because I was there when my mother died in Beverly Hills, when my mother was shot. Now, some people have it on record. They wanted to know in reference to, because I got shot in my mother's house when these assailants entered the house. This is a long story of a lot of things. And a lot of rumors that some people might be curious about or what things are. But, in reference to I had gotten shot, there was cameras inside my mother's house in Beverly Hills and outside. And, in reference to the situation, the Beverly Hills Police Department needs to do a story on it. Somebody's got to put some things out there in reference to the situation, And there was other attempts. Like, somebody had said that, Donald Trump's bodyguard, Calamari, was his bodyguard. Somebody said he tried to get in a fight with me before. If that was on record, if he ever tried to fight me or something, that has to be in the public news, what happened in that fight. And there was times like when Bush would come to Indiana, they would, and 9/11 Commission knows this, and the Warren Commission knows that some of his satellite controllers was burning me. I've never done nothing to nobody. These people was attacking me because they were trying to steal my mother and father's estates. You politicians, when you're in government and you're on TV, I don't write your fucking scripts that you read from, that you read the teleprompter from. Your words come from your script writers for your public addresses. I had nothing to do with anything you people ever said in public. So what you said, if the audience of the country didn't like what you said, those are your words and your person that wrote those words. And somebody tried to plagiarize my words in reference to me talking about the country. And some of those politicians, they stole words from me and they never paid me when they had been spying on me. When I'd talk about something like, oh, that's not a good idea in government. That shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do this. Shouldn't do that. Because that's a violation of this law or a violation of that law. Or whatever, when they had been spying on me. These people trying to create their fabrications of their lies to attack me. I've never done a fucking thing to none of these people. My parents didn't do nothing to them. But everybody knew back in the day, the CIA was stalking my father. They were trying to get my father to make them famous. They were trying to make my father do things for them. And you know, the CIA is predominantly German. And so is the FBI, which is illegal based on the percentage of race that's in the FBI or the CIA. Their numbers are illegal. They do not have a legal right having 95% of the CIA or FBI to be German. That's treason. That's a violation of the Vienna Convention laws too. Them having too many people of their race in branches of government in America. That means they're trying to control the political history of the future of politicians and races of politicians, which is illegal, and that is political treason. And in reference to them and the fact that they are German or they tried to steal American politics, that is international treason. Or any other race that tries to steal American politics, of which are an outside country such as Germany or the Middle East. Now, this is not in reference to Joe Biden's vice president. She's possibly from the Middle East, I don't know. Or she has family in the Middle East. She has to follow the guidelines of law. Everybody knows that. Maybe she was elected as vice president to stop people of her race or to inform them that they don't have a right doing certain things in America. I don't know. I haven't received any monies from anywhere, and I was getting abused during Barack Obama and Joe Biden's administration, and even before. So, you know, I have not received any compensation, even though these people have been burning on me every single day with a satellite. Several satellites. There's sometimes either 10 or 14 satellites looking at me, burning on me every day. That is treason. And in reference to these people that's tried to murder me, or like somebody tried to say that when I was working at Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, that Barack Obama or some of his people tried to throw me off the balcony or something at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. I don't know if they did. You know, somebody has to elaborate on that, whether that happened or not, just because of general information of things, you know. But so I don't know if they were his people or what it was. So somebody needs to elaborate on that. And in reference to flight records, in reference to when politicians have came over here to Indianapolis, I've never received a penny from anywhere. And any politician that misrepresents my birth parents' identity must get impeached. And they must get prosecuted. The Royal Protocol's in the media. It's in every film, whether it's a political film, whether it's a romance film, drama, horror movie, action film, any type of film. It's even in documentaries. So any politician trying to steal my identity or holding me hostage or abusing me, when my parents owned the most land in this country and my grandparents owned the most land and employed the most people in America of different races and different ethnicities and friendliness, and then these people tried to make up lies to slander my grandparents or to slander my mother and father, or these people trying to slander my identity where they've damaged my teeth trying to accuse me of things. No, man. That's physical contact. Whatever you're using, whether it was a handheld laser or a satellite or anything else, you have caused physical injury. The Supreme Court has to open up those records from when I was a little boy that says anybody physically assaulting me or causing me injuries or marking on my body must get arrested. No fucking matter what. Anybody disagreeing with that? There's courthouses in every state in America. And these politicians violating my rights of freedom, when the American flag is in America, the Constitution, the rights of privacy, the rights of living life without people assaulting me and abusing me from satellites, and people damaging things on my anatomy, or people trying to ruin my lifespan of the future, or people trying to steal my mother and father's estates, or them trying to ruin my prosperity when I own the companies of my mother and father and grandparents. Or them trying to injure me to prevent me from living my life? Those are all court laws that people have to get prosecuted for. And people violating the postal mail, people violating my financial class and wealth that I came from. And then they tried to call me a poor boy. Like they were trying to make me into a slave, or claiming that they thought that I had to be underneath them when they stole my sperm. No, my mother was a female, of course. And my mother was the richest woman in this country. My father was a male. He was the richest man in this country. So who the fuck is any woman or man to be holding me hostage, trying to steal my family history? Your political titles, whoever anybody is, does not entitle you to steal the history of this country. Does not entitle you to steal my family history, or my identity, or my mother and father's estates. Has to be more court cases against the government and their crimes of holding me hostage and stealing from me.